every year that you live, that world will get bigger and brighter.
Hi, Matthew.
Hey, Ash, how are you?
I'm so good. You know what's funny? I was just thinking about this, and I remember you were like my first Zoom interview during the pandemic.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I remember like our quality is much better now. I think.
Yes, we're all dialed in now. Now we spend all day, every day on the damn thing.
Yeah, we figured it out. Congratulations on this film. It's absolutely beautiful. I did not expect to cry as much as I did, but I really, really loved it. So I need your help understanding a bit.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna go into spoiler territory, but it's also a book, so let's go for it. So your character appears early on,
Right.
and then I don't think I see him again.
No, you don't.
Okay, I didn't think so. My interpretation was obviously it's his mind and his world is crumbling, but the people that show up are those people that weren't necessarily close to Chuck. Those are just kind of flashes of his memory. And what did you and Mike talk about in terms of who this guy is?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about what it is in the universe. I think that that's up for interpretation, and I love you going, this is what it is. I will tell you, the next day, my wife and I were still talking about what things meant and why things, it's not a movie that's handed to you on a plate, which is what I love about it. It's one of the things that you're sort of being enveloped by a film instead of it laying and being, placating you. It makes you think, it makes you engage. I play this character that walks into the middle of this scene and becomes this sort of soothsayer about the end of the world, right? And so he's this blue collar guy who is delivering the temperature of what's happening around us and gives you a sense of the stakes for everyone watching.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good point that you're making when you're we're kind of going back and forth without really fully formed questions or answers, which I think is interesting. I thought this was one of the hardest questions to write for, especially when you're in a 4-minute interview, because I've been unpacking this movie in my mind for weeks, and I love that it's sitting with me in that way.
Yeah. I think that that's one of the gifts of the movie. I mean, I think that if you said, hey, why are you crying in the movie? People keep having this emotional experience. And the question is, why are you crying? And you're I don't really know. I don't know what it is about this film and for me, I was I cried the first time I saw it. I was what made me cry? It's not terms of endearment, somebody's dying, or you've got this moment in The Champ where his boy is hugging his father as he dies. That is oh my God, how could that happen? In this movie, you're moved to tears, and I'm not really sure why it's so emotional, but it is a movie that washes over you instead of manipulates you. It doesn't manipulate you in that way.
Yeah, I totally feel, not to personalize it too much, but the movie is dedicated to one of my dear friends, Scott Wampler, who passed away. And I'm sure a lot of journalists knew him and will probably be saying that today, but I did not expect it to hit me as hard as it did. And it's beautiful. I mean, the film ends with they talk about the line, I contain multitudes.
Yeah, I love it.
I talked about that personalization, but I remember going to my buddy's funeral and everyone was talking about different versions of him that I didn't necessarily know. And that's why I think that line struck with me so much. So I'm curious what that line means to you.
Oh, yeah. So
this is again a hard interview because it's everyone's just talking about death and therapy.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that people have expectations around somebody who's been in the movie industry for 30 years, and you're oh, I think I know who that is. I mean, the reality is that people know me from these things, right? From a movie, yes, with Mike Flanagan, also these interviews or your social media, but the reality is that, I'm an entrepreneur. I've got 2 businesses I've started. I've started a 501c3. I'm a father of a queer kid. I have 2 other kids that are, one just graduated college and was awarded this award for being the graduate of note in her art department. I mean, I'm an eternal soccer father. I mean, I feel there is no way to know somebody by what you see. And the reality is that I am everything else other. This is my job. This is the least interesting thing about me in my life.
I thought you were just Stu Mockert.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But people will come up and be, oh my God, Shaggy. I'm nah, played Shaggy 23 years ago. 23 years ago, So yeah, it's, the reality is that for me, it's a very interesting world because so many people have such an expectation of what they think I am. And the reality is that I contain multitudes.
That is so well said. Okay, on that note, I will exit. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Ash.